Well, hello there, everybody. You're probably thinking, Jeremy, why in the hell are we starting this off in the refrigerator? Well, that's a good question. It's because we're in the kitchen today. We're going to be looking at a kitchen appliance, or a kitchen appliance of sorts. I guess you would call it an appliance. Well, you'll see in a second. Today's video, I am going to again try a little bit different format. Still going to be a review of sorts. Honestly, generally speaking, if I don't like the product, I just don't review it, which I thought is kind of missing out a little bit, because if I only review good products, then you guys don't know if a product isn't great or if it's average. So maybe the better thing for me to do would be anytime I have a product I'm interested in, do some form of review on it one way or the other, even if it's not great, and then just give you guys the real skinny on it, even if it sucks, and that way you'll know to avoid it. So in the spirit of that, I've got a new product that the company NewAir offered to send me to check out, and it was something that I thought would be useful. It is a portable plug-in ice maker. This makes, I believe it's up to 40 pounds of ice a day. Supposedly it's ClearIce, which ClearIce is awesome. It looks good in a glass if you're drinking a nice fancy cocktail like a bourbon on the rocks or something. Who can't use 40 pounds of ice in a day? I mean, I know with a family of 5, our ice maker normally keeps up, but there are some days if we're making a lot of smoothies, and for sure if we have get-togethers and have grill outs and people over, we tend to run out of ice. So this thing can pump out 40 pounds a day. I feel like that could be really useful for me, and if it's useful for me, it's probably useful for you guys. So the way I think I'm gonna work these is it's gonna be kind of a first look. You're gonna see me unbox it, you're gonna see me kind of figure it out for the first time and use it, and then I'll give you guys the results on whether or not I think it's a POS or it's good. And I'll probably maybe start on these kinds of reviews rating them on a scale from 1 to 10. 1 being piece of crap, 10 being awesome, go buy it immediately. And I'm probably gonna call it something like, let's try that, or let's try it. Something like that. And that'll be in every title. So it'll be like, portable ice maker, let's try it. At least that should be the title of this if this all worked out properly. So let's get going. Let's get this thing unboxed. What the hell's the name of this thing? The NewAir ClearIce40, I think it's called. Let's try it. There really is something strangely like ASMR and satisfying about that. I don't know. So you might be saying, Jeremy, how does this thing make ice? Where does the water go? Do you have to hook a water line to it? No, it doesn't have to have a water line going to it. It actually has a water reservoir back here that you put filtered water in. I just filled it up and it actually took 80 ounces. So about 80 ounces filled this thing all the way up. And here is the ice tray and also where the ice falls out. So we just turn it on. We'll see what happens. There's only one button on the thing, so it's pretty easy to use. There's one button. So there's like a little bar here that's just squirting water down, and it's kind of running across that metal grate. The reason ice gets cloudy is because if it's in a tray, put water in it and then it freezes. The water freezes from the outside in, which traps air on the inside that can't escape, makes it cloudy. So I'm supposing what this is gonna do is this grate is gonna get super cold, this water is gonna run through it, and it's gonna slowly accumulate ice out. In theory, allow all the air bubbles to get out, making clear ice. So we'll see how fast it is. I'm gonna time it, and I would imagine after the first batch, recurring batches will be faster because the unit will already be cold, but we'll see how long it takes for the first batch. "23 minutes, 5 seconds, which honestly, I think is pretty good from cold, which cycles after this will probably be more like 15, which is pretty quick. We'll see how much ice it pumps out though. There's a better shot of the little metal grate I was telling you about with the water trickling down. And the ice, and there it is. There's where it fell down in here. So my only comment with this so far is it didn't totally break up. So you can see it's kind of still in these big blocks that aren't broke up, and I don't know if you can tell, but not clear. So it took some manual braking to really get that good and separated, and it doesn't seem clear, but it did make approximately yay much in the blender. I don't know if you can see it well, it's right there. We made just a tad over 2 cups of ice, which seems like that's gonna be probably the average for about 1 batch. I think the next thing I wanna measure is how much this entire reservoir makes. About how long does it take for that to happen, and about what's the total volume of a full reservoir of water. So we'll get those 2 data points and we'll be back, because that's probably gonna take a little time. So while we're waiting for this thing to run through probably a couple hours worth of making ice, probably be a good time to go over what they have to say about this on their website as far as features, details, specifics, and stuff. So let's hit the specs real quick. The actual name of this is the NewAir ClearIce40, and they're calling it a countertop clear ice maker. Some of the key features they're pointing out is that it creates restaurant quality transparent ice. The storage area in there is a cold storage, which will limit melt time. 1 button design for ease of use, and it is supposedly going to make 40 pounds a day, which we're going to find out soon, so we'll be able to kind of verify that. Small footprint and stainless steel finish, which I do think is pretty snazzy if I don't say so myself. It is 15 inches deep. It is 14 inches high, and it is about 11 inches wide. If I had to compare it to the size of something, it's about the size of a large crock pot, just to kind of give you a comparison. Also, one of the questions you might have is, do you have to fill it with bottled water, or can you use tap water? According to the website, you can use any water. I did notice though that the first batch was not what I would call clear, as I showed you. I live in Florida, and we have notoriously hard water here. I did use filtered water from the refrigerator, so I'm wondering if that might be affecting the clearness of the ice. I want to give it a fair shake. I'm going to put a couple bottles of bottled spring water in there to kind of simulate what water is like in other cities that don't have terribly hard water. I'm going to see if that makes a difference with making the ice a little more clear. Let's give this thing some more time to keep cranking out this ice, and we'll check back in. All right. At our 2 hour and 19 minute mark, which is what it took for this little dude here to go through that entire 75 to 80 ounce reservoir of water, we made this much ice. This is a 1 gallon Ziploc bag. So just to kind of give you something as a point of reference to how much ice, which weighs approximately 3 pounds and 5 ounces. It seems to me, by what I've seen, it is gonna make about 40 pounds of ice in a 24-hour period, which is a good amount of ice. That's 2 of the big bags you would buy at like the gas station or whatnot. Now, as far as the ice quality, now I thought the best way to look at the clearness here is with a little bourbon. Here is the ice with tap water. Don't judge it yet. It's got frost on it. Here is the spring water. So first impression, this one, the spring water obviously looks clearer. This one looks cloudier. Let's see. A little spillage. There you go. Spring water, tap water in Florida. This here is still not 100% clear, but I would call this what you would normally see if you got like ice from like a bag of ice. That pretty good clear consistency. This is not. This is cloudy, this is foggy. What's to be said about that? I don't know. Can it make clear ice? Certainly. This over here looks really good and clear. Is it gonna make clear ice with every water in every town, depending on your water source and how hard your water is? Probably not. Now, does that rule it out? No, it still makes a ton of ice pretty quick, but the clear option definitely has to be considered here. Spring water, Florida tap water. Well, Florida filtered refrigerator water. So bringing it upstairs to kind of wrap up what I think about this ClearIce40 from NewAir. It makes a very good amount of ice in a short period of time. It's reasonably compact and portable. So, you know, if you want something that when you're having get-togethers or parties, you can plug it in and pump out a lot of ice. You got a larger family and you make smoothies and stuff, that is great. It also has a stainless steel case, which I really like. I think it looks good and it keeps the ice cold. So it's one of those things that you could really just serve directly out of that at a party. But for the negatives, the clear part, I don't know that you can really call it a clear ice. Is it capable of making clear ice? Yes, you saw it is capable. And I feel like in most areas that don't have crazy hard water, you probably won't have a big issue. Another downside is the ice does tend to want to stay together and it takes a little bit of manually breaking up. What I did is I just kept them in baggies in the freezer for spare ice, and you can smack the bag on the ground, kind of like you would with a big bag of ice you get at the gas station or whatnot. As for price, this dials in right at about 240 bucks, which puts it in more of a luxury price range. Not everybody's going to want to pay $240 for the ability to make ice when you can make it in ice trays in your refrigerator for free, but it can certainly pay for itself with you not having to go buy bags of ice. So, you know, it's a give and take there. The people at NewAir were nice enough to give us a discount code for my viewers. So if it's something that you are interested in buying after you watch this, you can go to their website, which I'll link it all down below. You can go to their website, use the code ClearIce40. So it's clear as in clear ice and Sire is my last name. Use that and you will get 20% off on one of these. Like I said, I'll list all those details below so you don't have to remember that. So for the final score, what am I going to give it? It's kind of tough because I do like it, but there are some definite drawbacks to it. I'm going to give this a 6.5. Like I said, it is a nice machine, but I do have to knock it down a little bit for a couple flaws that do kind of bother me just a little bit, especially at that price point. So that's it for me today, guys. Hopefully you found this one useful. This was something I was looking into for myself because I was constantly running out of ice at get-togethers and stuff. So I thought I'd bring it to you because I thought maybe it'd be helpful. Hopefully you like this new format. If you do, give the video a big thumbs up so I know you liked it, and we'll try to make some more of these. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments below and I will do my best to answer them for you. If you're not a subscriber, please consider doing so. We'd love to have you on board. I hope everybody is having a fantastic week, and we'll see you in the next video.